Hey, um, this is a pretty small group, and a good portion of the group are mothers of school-aged children. And with school starting again, I think it would be useful to spend a little bit of time doing a little energy work around some of the more common anxieties and feelings that go along with the start of school. So in the group, there's a big dichotomy of both anxiety of all the whole new stressors that come along with the start of school, and also guilt over feeling relieved of some of the burden that comes along with full-time mothering or full-time caretaking of children. So there's a lot that's surrounding the start of school. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of fear, a lot of fear over what your children are going to be facing. They're going to be coming up against other kids, and that's going to expose them to a potential of feeling inadequate, of feeling rejected, of feeling not good enough, of being compared to others and feeling as though they come up short, of feeling that things are too hard or that it's going to hurt them in some way. Then there's your own fears concerning you. How will you navigate it? Are there things and risks there that are going to be really frightening for you? And then there's the stress of getting yourself up in the morning and getting tired kids prepared, fed, ready to go to school every single day, day in, day out. And then managing just the tasks. Here, it cut me off because I was too far from the Wi-Fi signal of my house. So there's just a lot of stress that can the start of school and just school in general. And I thought it might be helpful to talk about it and do a little work about it because, we're all human, right? I feel these things too. And, especially the thought of like my kid having pain is one of the worst things for me. So this is for me as well as y'all, but like I tend to do, it's silent most of the time, but if you like it and if it's useful at all for you, all you have to do is just mentally make a note that you accept it and your energy will take what it needs. So I'm going to be thinking about a whole bunch of things and being quiet the whole time. So just forget about like looking at me, but this will be here. And if you need it during the school year, if things are stressful, if your kid is feeling anxiety over, the competition of being around peers and all that goes along with that, if you're feeling the stress of it, if you're feeling that weird mom guilt of, well, I should be more connected, or I should be blah, 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 I should be, maybe this will just be a small assistance for you in helping you find your better path. So I'm going to begin. And if your kids are crappy, it's not a punishment for you. It doesn't mean your motherhood is less than or that you are unworthy as a mother. If your kids are crabby, if they misbehave, if they're even suffering, it doesn't have anything to do with you, your experience as a mother, your experience in your role of mother can be totally separate from the day-to-day emotions of your child. And maybe if they're really crabby because mornings come early and because there's a lot going on and energies are high and they go from excitement to exhaustion to fear to nervousness to insecurity to excitement again, and they're going through that huge range of motion, maybe you can find more strength and refuge in welcoming all of their emotions as just another flavor of motherhood, and that you are not less worthy or inadequate because of the variety of their emotions, and that you can maybe more easily receive them and then guide them. And then, like, the next thing that comes to my mind is the weird mix of feelings of feeling relieved that the burden of childcare is lessened by them going to school. And then that feeling of relief is then followed by a feeling of guilt. That you would even feel relieved to have them gone. And then you try to make up for it with a lot of connection or a lot of like really cool activities or things like that. It might be helpful to know that your children are always seeking to connect with you. And that there's no one in the world who can define connection except for you. And it may take you some time to really understand what it is that you want as far as connection goes. If you want to be the type of mom that spends, 24 hours a day with your children, or if the quality of your connection is strong enough that they can go to school and do all these activities and the bond is still true. And that it is the quality of your thoughts and your energy which will be most supportive for your children in whatever they do. And all the thoughts floating around, stress over getting dinner done, stress over all the things that have to be done, stress over the demands made of you, over how much people need you. Most of these are not really your own. Most of these were given to you. And they were inherited, basically. We can gather up all those thoughts for now whatever's ready to be released now. And that perhaps there can be pleasure in making dinner. And there can be pleasure, real pleasure, in caring for your kids, and real pleasure in waking up early in the morning and being the one who gets their grumpy sleepiness. Being the one who is the mother for their bad moods, or being the one who is their rock. And in being the one who is skilled and patient, and who is there, who is the one doing the small things. Women have a very, very special role, and it's incredibly strong. And the women are the rock and the foundation of the relationship and of the family. I don't care what anyone else says. It's a backwards thing. Men are not the rock. Men will go crazy trying to be the rock, and women will go crazy trying to make men be the rock. Women are the rock and the foundation. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really tired. It's just an energy thing. When I yawn, it's a big energy. And then the next thing that comes up is the fear. Fear that you can't stop bad things that might be coming. Fear of what you can catch. Fear of your children being hurt. Fear of things being too hard for them. Fear of them coming in contact with another kid who's mean. Me personally, it's having to witness my children have their feelings hurt is like one of the worst things in the whole world for me. But when you think about it, it is not a brave mindset. There is nothing in this world and this life that can, let me say it a different way. This world and this life, one of the biggest tools for growth and evolution and development and maturity and pleasure and insight and wisdom and love and empathy is pain. It's just one of those really weird things. There's no hero story in which the hero does not suffer and does not have to overcome it. And this happens so early, and it's hard to sit there and watch. But you have to remember, our children are people on their own paths with their own life, and the pain they experience at the hands of even us, the hands of their parents, their teachers, the other kids, the pain that they experience when they're having to deal with being tired, when they're having to deal with feeling inadequate on a sports team or academically, the pain when they're not included with other kids. Our job really is not to save them from that pain. Now, I'm not saying like invite people to be rude, but they're going to come against it. And we're not going to make resilient kids if we try to protect them inevitably, always from that pain. We're just going to make them more fragile and less able to cope with or handle or get past the pain. And they're never going to, well, I can't say never, but we're not going to help them see the lessons on the other side of the pain if we hide them from it. And that requires that the parent, and specifically the mother, be resilient enough to witness her child going through pain without trying to take it away from them. And that requires us to be comfortable enough with our kid being in pain that we can hold space for them being in pain without trying to change it. So we can let them have their feelings hurt. We can let them be on the sports team and not be the best player. We can let them not be the academically brilliant kid. We can let them be grumpy in the mornings, and it doesn't have to hurt us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying that you just have to let them just like wail on forever. You have to like just let them like wallow in their bad mood or anything like that. But the impulse to like stop their feelings a lot of times just comes from the fact that we don't want to deal with the feelings we get when they're in pain. So and most of the thoughts too, like the thoughts that a lot of like parents and moms get, you know, like, oh my gosh, they're just in my hair, or ugh, they never leave me alone, or ugh, why won't you just give me a break? You know, like the kind of thoughts where you're just kind of like complaining over the existence of your child, you know, or they're, even if your child is always in your face, most of those types of thoughts and the actions that go behind them, and allowing your child to be in your face without like a really nice relationship, because your child will be happier too if you're happy. Those are rooted in a lack of self-worth or a lack of worthiness in having a good relationship with your child, of having a good experience as a mother. a lot of that is rooted in what was modeled for you, but also in a belief that you don't deserve to have a good relationship and that you don't deserve to have a good experience as a mother with your children. So your thoughts will follow that and your actions will follow that, and then you'll start to complain a whole lot about your children's existence and the things they need. And like, I'm not saying you have to be perfect all the time. I'm just helping you see like where it comes from. Let me do a little bit on that. Okay. All right, well, I hope that was a nice little boost for people here. Beginning of school can bring a whole lot. So I hope it blesses all of you.